Maybe we could converse here for a moment about the invented self that you invented yourself. And given that you invented yourself, then you can erase that which you have invented. It is literally possible for you to erase the person that you've invented yourself to be because you invented that person from your own thoughts, from your own conditioning, from your own attachments to the experiences that you've had. So you are an invention of thought. You're an invention of knowledge. You are an invention of that which you believe. So you're born into this world that lives from knowledge. You are stuck then in thought. And from the place of thought, you invent your own belief. Now, here's where it gets interesting. From your belief, you invent a circle where you simply live round and round and round and round, ever repeating the same mistake over and over. There's even a nutcase guy said the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. And that's what we've been doing. And the sad part of that is we've been doing that for thousands of years. We took on the mantle of repeating our past from our parents, who took on the mantle of repeating their past from their parents, who took on the repeating of their past from... Wait a minute, I'm starting to sound a little bit repetitious here. Perhaps you're getting the point. It goes back thousands of years is the problem. What it takes, I'm suggesting here, is to break that cycle, to break the chain. What you need, I'm suggesting here, is to realize that you are the chain. It could be the weakest part of the chain. The manner in which you become the weakest part of the chain is you realize you're part of the chain, and then you can break it. So if you think that the person that you are is who you are, you need to realize that that's just your thinking. Thought has invented the person that you are, and you simply repeat that which thought tells you that you are. And the problem here is you are the thought that's telling you who you are. Follow me? Are you walking alongside here? Right beside me, walking along? The moment you realize that the person you are isn't real, now I need to be a little careful here because you are really the person that you are, but the person that you are is a fake person. Like our nutcase ex-POTUS says, fake news. You are fake news. The thing that's needed is to discover that you are fake news. The suffering, the misery, the addictions, the religions, all of the things that you are stuck in can be ended. They are removable. You have inserted into yourself stupidity, ignorance. And you don't realize that you have made yourself stupid or ignorant. That simply means you don't know. There's There isn't a slight here. There's not calling names. It's simply saying what it is that you are. I mean, the very definition of stupid would be to know that you're not stupid. You see? The definition of an intelligence would be to discover that you're stupid. That is intelligence, to discover that you're stupid. How stupid would a person have to be to invent themselves from knowledge, thought, and belief? Because when you invent yourself from knowledge, thought, and belief, then the only thing you can do is pass on knowledge, thought, and belief. And that's been happening for thousands of years. I'm just suggesting that it is time now, right now, to break the chain. And as I said earlier, the problem with breaking a chain is first you must discover for yourself that you are the chain. You are the continuation of war, kill, maim, rape women. We are so stupid that we say we love our children. We do not love our children. If we loved our children, we would create a world for our children. We would not prepare our children for the world. We would have a place for them already that's safe. Not say, don't talk to strangers, don't watch out for the President of the United States. He's going to grab you between the legs. And don't you see? We are the result of our own stupidity. We are the result of our own ignorance, which means we are the result of not knowing that we do not know. It's not a cut down, it's not a negative thing. It simply is saying, if we care to end the wars, if we care to end the raping of our women, females, pardon me for calling you women, I apologize for that. That's stupidity. That's my own stupidity. If we care to have all of that end, then we need to end it in ourself, because it's us doing it. It's you, it's me. Us. It's not them. They aren't the culprit. There's no culprit here except you. Because you are the result of you inventing you from a world that you accepted from your parents. And as I said earlier, back, how far back do you have to go before you discover where this whole wrong turn, as J. Krishnamurti says, we made a wrong turn. The wrong turn that he is referencing is we moved from creating our lives, from living in intelligence or from intelligence and truth. And we made a huge leap, made a huge wrong turn, to use his words. I don't particularly like them, but I'm using them. So and the place we ended up in is knowledge and thought and belief. And knowledge, thought, and belief are all of the past. And if you bring forth your life from the past, then you will only repeat the past, because there is nothing new in the past. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that we haven't had a few people along the way that escaped it. Those people invented electricity, they invented automobiles, and what I'm suggesting here is that we each need to invent a manner in which to escape from invention and move into creation, to create our lives. Because to create our lives means to bring forth from nothing, not bring forth from already knowing. If you already know, that's the past. And if you bring forth your life from the past, it's simply the repetition of your past. That's why they say, save your tie, because in 20 years it's going to be popular again. Because all we're doing is round and round and round we go. Where do we stop? Right here, I say. However, nobody knows. Because today you can be the president of the United States and have a coup, send thousands of people and invade a building and kill 7 people. And everybody says, well, that's nothing. No problem. See, that is where we have arrived. So here's my suggestion. Given you have invented yourself to be a trained and conditioned robotic person, ever repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a new result, the thing I would care for you to discover is, because you invented who it is that you are, you can erase who it is that you are. Now, before, I must tell you that which you are erasing is the suffering, is the misery. It is the misogynistic idiot. It is the narcissist. It is the racist. It is the extreme, repetitious activity that we have been a part of for so many thousands of years. That chain, that way of being, that consciousness, it is not a small thing. It's the whole consciousness. It's the entirety of it, not just, however, it needs to start with just the content. We are the content of the collective consciousness. The thing we need to realize is, at one time, one part of the content invented the collective. The manner in which it's collapsed is one part of the content discovers that it is part of the content, which then blows up the context as each part of the content discovers it. It's called, or I call it, I don't know, I don't know what I call it. Critical mass is what I call it. Critical mass is reached when one particle of the content is discovered, it discovers, and then it passes it on, for the lack of a better word, to another part of the content, to another part of the content. And pretty soon, there's enough critical mass for the people, for them to say, wait a minute. It's not them that's doing it. It's not coming. There's no God going to save us. There's none of that. It's us. We are the content of the context. Then we can collapse the consciousness that has its core in belief, which is violence. The core of this consciousness is belief, thought, and knowledge, which is violent because it's of the past. When you bring the past forward into the present, that's violence. When you bring nothing, when you bring your present from nothing That's creation. That's intelligence. That's living from truth. The manner in which that has to happen, I'm suggesting here, is you need to discover that you are trained and you are a conditioned robot or robotic person, if you care for me to be a little more gentle with you. And that you are the one who trained and conditioned you to be trained and conditioned. Now, I must say you accepted it from your parents first, but the moment you accepted it, they are relieved from their responsibility, and then it's you. So you are the reason for the war. You are the reason we can have an ex-president who grabs women between the legs and then does whatever he wants to do with them, gets scot-free. Well, let's let him. He can bring on an insurrection and a riot, and have people killed, and it's okay. Let him go. You see, you are the robot, the trained and conditioned person who repeats, who has a reason, who can justify, who can explain things away instead of seeing them as they are. The manner in which you break a chain is you see you are the chain. And then that makes you the weakest part of the chain, and from there you can break the chain. And then when you break the chain, then the person closest to you can break the chain, and then it can suddenly explode. And then we can together create a world that our children can live in without worrying about getting killed, without worrying about being raped, without worrying about somebody coming into their classroom with an MK-47 because of the Second Amendment and mow them down. You see? We do have the possibility for creating peace on earth if we discover the manner in which to create peace within ourself, to free ourself from the training and conditioning that we trained and conditioned ourselves to be. All right, it's 17 minutes and 47 seconds. I apologize for rambling so long. Thanks. If you care to, perhaps send a message to ewjones@cox.net email, or put a comment there. Argue or tell me how wrong I am or right I am. Any comment doesn't make a difference. Makes no difference what the comment is. It only makes a difference if you comment. Thank you for listening, if you have listened this far.